All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today I want to talk about why the wage gap never existed and why the pink tax is bullshit. And don't get all butthurt or emotional. These are going to be logical arguments. So if you disagree with what I'm saying, how about providing a counter argument rather than getting all pissed off? So with that being said, let's start with a wage gap. I don't think it ever existed, and I will explain to you why. So we have to acknowledge that employers are 99% of the time going to be trying to pay their employees the minimum that they can get away with, because this is how they get a successful business. They are focusing on profits, reducing spending, doing everything they can do to make as much as possible, and that allows them to get what they want. So also, hourly pay and salary is an implicit negotiation. When you're asking for a raise, when you're starting at a new company, there's a negotiation going on onto how much you're going to be paid. And if you just accept the first thing that they give you, then you're probably losing the negotiation. Unless if it's a giant corporate company and they have tons and tons of employees, some of them will not negotiate at all because they know that they can just hire someone else and say, fuck you. But you still could be losing. So if you're allowing the employer to underpay you, then essentially you're allowing yourself to be exploited. And women are much less likely to renegotiate their pay, which is a part of it. Exploitation is just a natural part of life. It's how we ascend power hierarchies. We win in power dynamics. Like, women exploit men all the time. The friend zone is so common. Every girl has a bunch of guys in the friend zone for the most part. And it's an exploitative relationship, because if you were to be 100% honest with yourself as a guy, you are just friends with her because you're trying to hit it 99% of the time. You're trying to fuck her. And she's going to keep leading you on. She's going to exploit you for your attention, where she's going to make you think that one day you're going to be able to hit it if you just keep working at it. Years go by. She's getting her attention from you because women love attention, and you just get so pissed off, and you recognize maybe years down the road that you're getting exploited the whole time. So exploitation is not just a male thing. It's something everyone does. And if you're dumb enough to get exploited, then it's your fucking fault. Back to the employment side of things, men just have a greater proclivity to work harder and to work longer hours. And this is caused by our biology. Another thing caused by our biology is the greater desire to rise the corporate ladder. Men have the burden of performance to make money in traditional relationships to provide for the woman. So this is something they kind of have to do if they want to be able to get sexual access. And along with this, they renegotiate pay more often because they kind of have to, and they are less tolerant of being underpaid by their employer because they know that it's all about power dynamics. So employers aren't just being generous to male employees and being like, fuck it, let's pay them a little bit extra because they're men and we hate women. No, they either pay them more because they bring more value to the company, or because men are less tolerant of being underpaid and exploited. Nowadays, with this whole wage gap bullshit coming on, I wouldn't be surprised if women are actually being paid more than men for the same amount of value, like a reverse wage gap. Because companies are now scared of being sued or exposed by women for gender-based discrimination. So they might even be paying a little extra than what they need to and what the value that the women bring to the company for that safety net. And this has actually been proven before. Google's internal pay audits in 2019 found instances where they were paying some men less than women for similar roles, particularly among lower-level software engineers receiving less discretionary funds. There are literally instances that have been found in companies where, because they're so scared about the wage gap, they're actually paying women more than the men for the same thing. So since women complained about this wage gap that never existed, we had to correct as a society and start paying women more for the value that they bring to the company. And this is why men are now being the ones exploited in some circumstances, not all the time, but this just proves that this whole gender pay gap was just bullshit. And similar to this is the pink tax, because the pink tax is also a myth, and it's actually caused by women's spending habits. So when sellers are determining a price for a product, they're not just picking some random arbitrary price. I mean, in some way it is, but it's all a value calculation. The market sets the value for the price of an item. You can't just charge any price you want, because if you charge too much for the price, nobody's going to fucking buy it. And if you don't charge enough for the product, then you're not going to generate enough profit and your business is going to fail. So the market sets the price of a product. You have to understand this. And the only reason that sellers are able to get away with charging more for products targeted at women is because women are willing to pay more. And this is just another thing that comes from the differences in male and female human nature, our biology, our evolutionary psychology. Men do a lot more price comparisons. I'm sure you've noticed this. They think more about their price. They consider whether they're getting a good deal, where women, especially when they're spending daddy's money or their husband's money, they're just like, fuck it. I want this. Take my money. I'm not going to think too much into it. They're just going to spend the money and get what they want. And this is why women are responsible for their own overcharging, because they are tolerant of these price increases because they don't care as much. So the reason these sellers are able to charge so much for the same fucking product when it's marketed to women and pink colored is because women pay more for it and they don't care about getting scammed as much. So women cause their own wage gap and they cause their own pink tax. It's just a fact of life. There's no oppressor, there's no oppression happening. It's just how things work and how men and women have different psychology. That's all I got for you guys. Let me know what you think. Do you disagree or agree with what I said? Leave a comment, like the video. I appreciate it. Subscribe, and I'm out.